Hello, everybody.
What's up, happy people?
We're gonna have an interesting. This is gonna be fun, number one, and then very interesting for me, and probably embarrassing because we have a few things that I'm gonna read that I have not yet experienced in this book. So
It is going to be a good one. I'm going to go ahead and tell you all that now because I have read this one all the way through. I would like to formally introduce Torrence Robb. She's a debut author. She just released her very first book called Hoof It. So, as you can see here.
There is a description there is a link in the description of this video where you can go and click on it and it'll lead you to Amazon where you can purchase her books, which is now active.
There she is. The pretty
graphic
baby
on the front is incredible. Like, I do love, like, you did a simple graphic, but it still has like that kind of like menacing dark vibe to it, but it's not like you didn't do too much. A lot of like some of the horror stuff, it's just like, oh, I like this and like this and like this and this, and then it's just like, what the fuck is this book about? There's so many things. You just made it nice and simple. It's about a horny goat, essentially. Literally and figuratively.
This cover was not my original idea. I had actually designed one myself, and I'd sent it to JL, and I was like, I think I'm going to go with this. And she's like, oh, I love that, because she's my favorite hype person. And then I stumbled across this account on Threads called the Red Fox Creative, and they offer covers. That is too far. No, tell me I did not get rid of it.
Hi, Square.
I had to free up a whole bunch of space for an update lately, so like I deleted a lot of photos. But I know where I can find it.
Hated my hip. I hate being old.
So I put together a really terrible cover and then reached out to the Red Fox, and I was like, hey, I see that your prices are this, and I am this close to being done with my debut, and I would really like a more professional cover. So we talked for 10 minutes. I read some of her reviews online from other people, and here it is. I did this. I literally pulled the most basic Goatman graphic off the interwebs.
It looks like Mr. Tumnus. I kept telling her whenever I started reading it, and when she started like explaining it to me and describing it, I was like, all I'm getting is like Mr. Tumnus from Narnia, but with like super horniness. It's just like he's a bad boy. That's essentially what I was getting. That's gonna be clipped and all over the internet before the end of the night. Square, I'm talking to you. Don't fucking do it. I know you know how to clip things on YouTube. That ends up on TikTok, and I will know who put it there.
Literally everybody says, like, I've had author friends come into my DMs and be like, okay, so why am I picturing Mr. Tumnus? And I'm like, I guess.
Like Tumnus on steroids.
And they're like, do you have character art? And I'm like, no, not yet. Shoestring budget. So like, it's something I'm working towards. And I have a friend currently working on it for free, but like, she's currently pregnant and she already has kids and she's an author herself and she works. So like, it's slow going, which is fine, but like, no, I don't. So for now, yes, everybody just thinks that Zoo is Mr. Tumnus, but
which I mean, it's James McAvoy, so you can't really go wrong there. Like Mr. Tumnus, like if he was, take James McAvoy from like, what was that movie?
7 Feet, right?
It was the one with Angelina Jolie. I can't remember what it was called. Like
the Tori, he's 7 feet, right?
Zoo, yes, but that includes his horns from the top of his horns down to the bottom of his hooves.
I was gonna say because I sent you an article that I found, and it was saying that the details of the original story was like he was 6 foot tall, but also like the satyr from like Pan, so the reference and everything was accurate. And then this is the one thing I thought was kind of odd. He makes squealing noise.
Yeah, I don't
before he attacks his prey. I was just like, what? Like a or like a squeaky bike horn? What are we talking here? Squealing, there's very different definitions for that sound.
Yes. Yes.
But why that?
See, I didn't use a whole lot of the actual cryptid lore for Zoo. I kind of put my own spin on it just to make him more cinnamon rolly, because you know, most cryptid romances, they're the big scary ones that, you know, there's so many Mothman romances where the Mothman is it's more dark than anything, and I didn't want a dark romance. I wanted it to be sweet and fluffy, and I got a little bit of both.
He and Darcy are diabetes in a book.
There's your blurb for the back of it.
Right? Right? Like, I need to screenshot her review and use that to promote it, because, like, why not?
Because it's true with the way that they interact with each other and the way that they talk and the way that they use the mind speak and everything. It is diabetes in words. And I'm just like,
I want to know about this mask.
I love it.
What is this mask that he's wearing?
So he's really only goat, with the exception of the horns. He's only goat from like
and the ears
down. Yes, and the ears. I almost forgot the ears. But the rest of his face, he has a human nose, human eyes, human mouth, jawline. Like, this part here is all human. But because he wants to continue the human belief that he's a big, scary, 7-foot-tall bipedal goat, he wears a mask that resembles a goat's face that he put together himself, just because he doesn't want people to know that he's actually just as human as he is animal.
So he's kind of like using that as camouflage, essentially.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was like a religious thing, because I know when the mask was first talked about at the beginning of the book, it was and like he was talking about, you know, sending up a prayer to Pan, and I was like, well, is that why he wears the mask? Because he's like tied to his deity, or is it practical purposes?
The mask is just self-protection, self-preservation, because he's the last of his kind. He doesn't want humans to know how human he really is. He'd rather continue perpetuating the belief that he's pure animal, because it keeps the humans away. He's not spiritual, but because he's this miraculous creature, he does feel a deep connection with the wild god, which is why he's such a prevalent part of the story.
And then when you go into the fairy tale that he tells Darcy later on too, and then with a little legend there, I loved that too, by the way, because that was like
seat of my pants right there. Like,
I love the fact that you made him like, it was like the words you just said, a miraculous creature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when we think like cryptids, we think creepy, we think scaly, we think we're gonna eat you alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like supernatural. That's what we've been exposed to.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dean and Sam. But for the many years of trauma and nightmares. But we still love you, Jensen. But the fact is, like, when you think about mythological creatures, if you take it from that perspective, like, you could see where he would be this, you know, small cinnamon roll man that's just like, I just want to be loved.
Yeah.
It's not my fault I'm half goat. Just love me. And I mean, think about if it was, you know, a centaur, or if it was, you know, a freaking, you know, unicorn or something like that. Like, we would look at that and be like, oh, that's a good guy, because he's half goat. Automatically, everybody's just like, devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times while writing him, I had the thought of, I could kind of play into the Baphomet thing, but I didn't, because, like, again, wanted him to be sweet and fluffy. Not,
I mean, that, and it just kind of, it can go, like, I've seen some of those books, and don't get me wrong, like, people write what you want, read what you want, love what you love, but I live in the Bible Belt, and let's just say some of them books are, not necessarily the easiest things to be toting around out here. Like it took my library just now, like it's only been half a year to finally get smut in the library. I was
Look,
just
I
like,
work in a bookstore a couple days a week, okay? We have a romance section, but it's mostly authors like Michelle Major and Leanne Thane and Linda Lale Miller. There's lots of beach reads type romances. There's Danielle Steele, like all those names. Only in the past year has my boss started buying this level of romance. Like she hasn't gotten in any monster romances yet, but I'm pushing for it. But we just recently got like 30 different hockey romances. We've gotten a bunch of contemporaries by authors that I read, like just a whole bunch of modern.
she's my intro to pretty much everything. Like everything, like she was the one that was like, "Oh, you should read this. Oh, read Crescent City. Oh, read Haunting Adeline. Oh, read this." Pretty much 99.9% of everything on my shelf, her. The reason why I'm broke constantly, her.
See, and a lot of the
I'm not sorry.
Speaking you, I've given her.
Yeah. So
like if
Tori,
it's not
honestly,
fantasy, it's probably initially from me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So Tori's like my go-to sources for like anything and like everything as far as recommendations go.
I counted out whenever I like I have 2 here, 1 there, and then 2 small ones right there that are packed. I'm gonna have to buy another one. But whenever I counted when I was moving stuff around, I literally have over 600 books in just this room. It was closer to like the 750 mark, and I was just like, if I ever do manage to get moved and out of this house, I'm not going to be able to move for a few days after toting all this shit.
Felt when we moved last year, I had to pack up all my books, and I didn't realize just how many I had. I only have one actual bookshelf, but I have another 2 totes worth of books that I don't keep on the shelf. Plus, I have stacks of them all over the house. My bookshelf currently only has indie books, and I think I'm somewhere upwards of 150 of those, and it's not a very big bookshelf. And then I have probably another 200 in stacks all over the house, plus another, I want to say 150 in totes in our shed currently. Like,
I remember you were going through one of your totes on your live, and that's how we first met. Was you were going through and reorganizing and coming up with your TBR jar. Yeah, I know.
I've got to go back through our pod TBR and actually make a full list. The last time I did it, it was only like, I don't know, 2,000 books. Now I've got to change it up. I'm OCD AF. So it's just like I need to go back through that thing in a worse way. Your friend IC showed up.
I don't even know which one of my people that would be. I posted the link so many places, and I put it in my team chat and my author chat and on all my socials.
I see. Identify yourself.
Oh, it's my girl Sky.
She's like, it's me. Okay, so the main character's name, the main male character's name is Zoo.
Jimazoo.
Like, Jimazoo. And so you chose this to happen in Maryland, which
yes.
I didn't think Maryland whenever I originally thought Goatman, but then going and looking up stuff to like see the lore and everything, I was like, shit, it is in Maryland.
Yeah.
That's the last place I would have thought. It's so nondescript.
I know. But if you think about it, though, think of all of the national parks and the county parks that they have out there. Like, it makes sense because there's all these caves and forests that humans can't get to. So, like, of course there's going to be a cryptid based out of there.
Yeah,
so,
for real.
I mean, it looking at pictures of the lake and everything like that.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
it's beautiful, but like there was one little picture I sent it to JL, and the caption underneath it was describing where the child's like playground was, and it was located right next to the lake, and I'm like, might be a problem if there's a few other types of cryptids in there. I was like,
next thing you know, we're gonna have the lake man.
Lake. Like, can Zeus swim?
He can. He swims all the time.
Yes, he can actually.
Book 2.
The man, he has his own hot spring, so like, yeah, he swims all the time. He loves the water.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's got his own little hot spring spa in his caves and everything. Like dude's set. He's got his own like jacuzzi set up, the whole shebang.
I mean, I was looking at it. It was going through like it has almost every ecosystem around that park that you can think of. It has wetlands. It has a lake. It has forests. It has open fields. I'm just sitting here like, this is literally like you could relocate to any area in that park and just disappear. And then once you get caught, move back to another part of it, and nobody'd ever know the difference.
And that's basically what he does the first couple chapters. Like he there are certain areas where he knows he can go to. No, Sky. No more book ideas from you.
I love it. Swim it.
Like, he knows how far into the forest he can go before he's too close and the humans would be able to see him, which is why anytime he leaves the cave, he takes the mask with him. And there are a couple times in the beginning where he gets really close and then he like tripped. I don't remember what he did in the beginning. He coughed or tripped or some stupid human noise. And the humans were just close enough on their picnic tables that they heard him and immediately pulled their phones out, and he put his mask on and he hightailed it the hell back out.
Tori.
Okay, so our author chat wants me to write I don't know how to word this so that the end result of a male finishing, they want me to write that, but fizzy. Yeah. And Fizzy. Yeah. Like carbonated.
But like snap, crackle, and pop?
Yeah.
No, like carbonated drink, fizzy.
Yeah.
Don't reference that. I'm drinking a Red Bull here. Don't mess with my Red Bull.
Like soda pop. Yeah. That's what she wants me to write. And it's been
why?
Weird.
Goodness. Why?
Because I've already written monster smut, so why not? Is her logic. And we go rounds weekly. She's constantly, I'll say, oh, I'm stuck on this chapter. And she just says the words fizzy. And I'm like, no, Sky, it's not happening. It's back and forth between the two of us, and she keeps trying to get the others in our group to join in to try and convince me, and it's just not happening. Like,
dude, what kind of prompts do you guys be writing, and how can I get in on this?
I swear to God, I can see like a petition being passed around TikTok now. Sky's gonna start a petition. Please sign up.
No,
if you
don't give
on
her
board
that idea.
Tori writing something with fizzy jizz. Which, I'm not gonna lie, fizzy jizz sounds like it would be a fucking soda from a different country.
Why does that sound like that? That just sounds like it'd be like something like really bad, like an adult Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Beverage. Like, you know, the Four Locos. Maybe that's what it's like. What? It can have a whole. If you're gonna write it, get detailed on it.
Or it could be like
it
could be like
but give it like a hallucinogenic aspect. Whenever she comes into contact with it, whether it's or the other area, it produces like this euphoric high.
Kind of like when you're tripping on shrooms.
Yeah, kind of like that. So then, literally, they can go for hours.
I don't like you. I don't like you at all, and you know it.
Oh, we will 100% like
We'll
we.
support this.
Stop. No, stop.
Hey, guys, send
Love
me
you
the link.
read
I'll
it
put it
though.
in the description. Yes, we co-sign. We co-sign the fizzy jizz.
Sky,
just
if
wanna
you want it
add
that
the
bad, you write
aspect.
it.
We just want to add the aspect of the hallucinogenic property.
I hate you all.
No, you don't.
Oh, I laughed so hard my head hurt. But like I told her whenever I first started reading it, I was like, of course the Mr. Tumnus thing. I was like, then as I started reading, I was like, you know what would be really cool is if somebody wrote a book where it was Mr. Tumnus. Like the Goat Man was Mr. Tumnus. Like he found a portal that wasn't the wardrobe from Narnia and he was snatching women out of this random forest somewhere to be like his companion because he was lonely. So like all of these random people would go missing in this forest and it would get like this reputation for being haunted. And then the next thing you know, he grabs one and he's just like, maybe I'll keep this one. Like maybe, maybe I just like, he would get tired of them. He would get bored of them and then just be like, time to trade in. Like he would eat them.
Tell you what, you write it, I'll read it.
Oh God, I've got 3 works in progress going right now.
I don't think that Narnia is public domain yet, so.
Well, no, actually, I think. Well, currently, right now, last I heard, it was, but I may be wrong since they just got the right spot again for doing the Netflix show. So I don't know what the newest intel on that is yet. Because, like, C.S. Lewis apparently had left it for it to be open-ended for anyone to write up a story for, like, you know, like an idea of, like, your own.
It's still under copyright until 2045, so you've got 20 years to get it written.
I was looking to see if it was actually out. Copyrighted 1950.
Yeah, Tori, I told you, we go squirrel brain.
You don't say.
Welcome to the side quest.
Yeah,
I don't know.
side quests,
So
people.
far, it's saying I'm not seeing anything that says they instead of seeing it in 2010, 2049 is when it'll come back into public domain. 2049. But like, yeah, I've got 3 works in progress. She's probably got like 20, but because you were writing biker romance, you were writing the vampire romance, you were writing your own ACOTAR thing with Lucian. What else? There was the country one with the girl.
We get it. I got a backlog.
I have one that I'm writing based off of a Call of Duty throwaway character that was like Chris Evans. For like it was a Call of Duty video game that was online only in like Japan. Mm-hmm. So like I was like, why didn't somebody give him a name or actually give the character like purpose? It was just for an ad. So I was just like, fuck, nobody's using him. And nobody's used it in over 10 years. So I was like, mine. And then I'm still working to finish my Bucky Barnes. Like I didn't Wakanda Forever and Black Panther hadn't came out at that time. I was cut off at the end of Civil War and trying to move forward. Now I'm reworking it to take everything into context. So I'm also fixing some of the shit that the House of Mouse has fucked up. Which is a lot.
So
and then what was the other one? Oh, it was an alt version of Before We Go. That was the one of Chris Evans's videos. Like it was one of his indie ones that he actually wrote and directed. And I was just kind of like, what if that character met somebody else instead of that chick? It's like a what if. But let's get back to talking about your book.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, we have spiraled down the shiny trail for quite a bit here. We need to get back on topic. Sorry, Elle.
My fault. Okay. So So Darcy is our main female character.
Mhm.
I will say this much. I relate really heavily with her, and I love her best friends. I love
Mhm.
Frankie and I love Lexi. Lexi is like if like there was a dynamic to like show that girl right there, that's Frankie. I'm Lexi. I'm the one. I am the Jeremy Renner to her Ben Affleck.
See, I
So
took
like,
a whole lot of her personality and I actually sprinkled her into both of them. Like,
oh God, no!
you've been immortalized, darling.
if you continue to read the things that I put out, you'll realize that a lot of my FMC's best friends resemble her.
Oh, the whole thing, like with the junk food and watching movies or watching TV series before you get back on it, books. She was just like, well, I kind of already started throwing up glass, and I'm just like, and then there was another one, I can't remember how many. So finally, I was just like, you know what? You tell me what to read. And then we tried that. And as soon as I would start, I told her this. I was like, you do realize almost everything you've tried to get me to read this year, I start reading and then you stop me and start me on something else.
I'm sorry.
I haven't finished a single book.
Hide and shame is my cat blanket.
Now. I have them all now. So now I can finish them. So at least she's got me expanded on my collection to the point where, like, eventually I won't need to go to Barnes and Nobles. I'm good. I love you, J.O. You're the Bryce to my Danica, and I love you, darling.
Light it up, bitch.
Let it all bitch. So, like, okay, there are trigger warnings. Can we talk about trigger warnings?
Yeah.
Because we did put warnings out, so we'll go through the trigger warnings. So the trigger warnings are on page rape. I don't think I can say that word on YouTube because, you know, people are scared of saying actual words.
Essay.
Yeah,
on page essay.
Yeah. Mentions of past DV, mentions of assault, mentions of a hitman, unaliving, somnophilia, CNC, graphic spicy times, hand necklaces, which I was like, who doesn't like a good hand necklace? And then at the very end, pegging. So if you have a virgin bowl, maybe set that for a moment and take a good think about what you're ready to hear about being shoved in other areas.
15 years later,
like,
huh?
I can't breathe. Jail's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm sure that's how she felt the first time she had spicy time with Zoo. She's probably like, I can't breathe. Wait a minute. Let me adjust. I think one thing.
Wait, you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out.
I'm going to find out, but I have heard rumors. I have a feeling that once it started, she was like, "You can't take it back." Oh yeah, they're gonna like before the show. I hadn't gotten to the. JL kept asking me if I'd hit the part about his anatomy, and I had not hit the part about his anatomy. So I was like, you know what? I'll save it for the show. I'll read it and react to it. And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, do you want me to read one of the spicy moments? Because I hadn't hit any of the spicy moments. And she's like, do you want to read it out loud or do you just want to read it quietly? And I was like, dealer's choice. So apparently I'm reading it out loud, which will also be fun because I have a feeling I'm not going to be very articulate after a few sentences.
No.
But yeah, I'm meant to.
She's gonna be the sacrificial goat.
Yeah.
So Zoo is 400 years old, and he's been alone for the last century, which is sad in so many ways because it's just like
give more baby.
Flip need love too. We need to get punchkins to make like a Zoo punchkin. We need a cryptid punch.
That would be huge. I'm a bad boy.
Yeah, they could put that on it. They could do it as like an arm tattoo. Or like a t-shirt that he's wearing. I'm a bad boy. Or
See,
like
have to go right
on the back,
bonus
it could be
story for them
referencing
to
his
test.
anatomy and be like, I'm bad to the bone. Or bad to the bone.
Bad to the boner.
Anything with the boner. Yeah. Literally. Oh, Tori's like, what is happening?
No.
Oh God. So
Tori's writing.
ideas. So he's not he's been around for the last century. Hasn't left the woods in over 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he has like one of the things like that he wrote I loved so much was one of the things you wrote that he said was that he felt like he was missing half his soul. And I was like, that is by far one of the most beautiful things I think I've ever heard a male MC say. Like it's so heartfelt. Like the way you wrote that moment where he was just like guttural, just like, I'm tired of being alone, man. Fuck this shit. I just want somebody to love. I just need a hug. Like that was literally, he was just like, I need a hug and some smexy time, please. Like you don't have to touch it, just look at it. Tori's like, another t-shirt. Meanwhile, Square, if he's present or watching, he has gone silent. He's just like, Square's like around when we do like talking about like fantasy or like I think we did the Butcher and Blackbird one, and he was here. In the chat.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that was interesting. But Sky's like, yes, keep embarrassing her. Sweetie, it's about to be me in the hot seat that's going to be embarrassed. Watch. I'll turn about 6 different shades of pink. If not falling underneath the chair entirely, because I've done that. But, I mean, another aspect that you added was that he kind of explains at the jump, like, I'm lonely. I'm not meant to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be loved. Like, I feel like there's something missing. And in a lot of stories where there's like fated mates or things like that, you don't get the male MC actually saying that he feels that way out loud. Like it's not until after like he runs into her when he's like, you were the missing part of my soul. It's like men have feelings too.
Mm-hmm.
Even goatmen. Goatmen have feelings. hashtag support goatman mental health. Goatman mental health matters too.
We're giving her so many ideas.
But so we talked about JL, you talk about some of the stuff that you came across whenever you were reading.
So I will definitely say that I love Darcy. I love Darcy. I love everything about her. She very much reminds me of you, ma'am.
Me?
No, her.
Tori?
Yes. With you and your research falling down rabbit holes and going and like being up and like late at night and you're on the binge, like you're not stopping until you're like, really in there, and then it's like, oh shit, I
did
need to go
that whenever she started me on freaking Crescent City. I started doing that for Crescent City, and then I think I kind of went wild with Fourth Wing too. So
yeah,
I get that.
You did.
Yeah, I went pretty far on Fourth Wing.
But you don't do it in a way that's like, like, how are you embarrassed or anything like that. She didn't do that either. So that's one of the ways I'm just like, yeah, I see where I could, where you were talking about the little aspects. And
Oh, the not
Gosh,
not
where's
bathing
my
and
brain
falling
going with
down
this?
as I've done that. I've done that. I don't know how many unfortunately, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
like you get drowned in something and you zone in on it and you're like, there's something next. There's something I feel it. I'm gonna find it. I just need to go just a little while longer. And then you look at the phone, you're like, it's 9 a.m. Another
Yep.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well keep going. Where I look
But
at it.
Darcy's just so relatable as far as like, kind of just wanting to, go out there, be adventurous and, go find new things and, just have a good time with the people that you care about. Like her and Lexi and Frankie going in their trips and, going and doing the shit, shooting the shots. Freaking love the dynamic between all of them. Okay, remind me again. Was it Lexi's dad or was it Frankie's dad?
Lexi's dad.
It's
Right.
Lexi's dad.
Okay, it was Lexi's dad. That threw me through a fucking loop. I was like,
Reggie reminded me of the quintessential kind of good fella. Like he felt like De Niro. He was just like, you got a problem, like you just call me and I take care of it, girlie. It doesn't matter. Whatever the fuck it is, I take care of it. You never see the motherfucker again. Okay?
he
You
kind of
just give me a call.
he kind of makes me think of the oh gosh, remember Zootopia?
Mhm.
Remember the bride's dad? He's like, you saved my little girl.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
owe
the
you.
freaking mole?
Yes. Kind of gave me that vibe of put him on some ice.
Yeah, it's like you're here at my daughter's wedding, and you done me a solid. So whatever you need, it's yours. Just ask.
Love that. Love that. That is a vibe. That is a vibe.
I mean, it did. I mean, that is that's Marlon Brando, but I mean, that's the vibe Reggie gives off. He's just like one of those dudes. It's like if you got a problem, like you go to Reggie, and he's just like, it's not a problem anymore. I got it. I got you covered, sweetie. Don't worry about it. They won't find the car for at least another 3 months.
You've been close to my little girl. You've been making her feel safe. You make her feel loved. You make her feel like she's important in the world. This right here, you need anything whatsoever. You give me a call. You give me a call. I got you. We take care of this.
Or we could just go full Jeremy Renner and Ben Affleck in the town and be like, I need your help with something. I can't tell you about it. You can never ask me about it again. And we're going to hurt some people.
Whose car are we taking?
And then Jeremy's like beating the shit out of that one dude. Like Reggie's just beating him. He's like, what did you do to my friend? What'd you do to piss him off so bad? Hey, what the fuck do you do? I can see Reggie like hitting him with like a crowbar, being like, what did you do?
And I really, really, really think that probably was like the best way that it went down.
Yeah.
Yes, because that was like perfect.
So shall we touch on the delicate topic and just get it out there? I think we're headed there anyhow. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. So, guy, I looked up and saw swear.
Oh gosh.
It's like I didn't see nothing. I didn't say nothing. I'm not gonna roll on nobody. Like, don't put me in witness protection. But so this is the moment. Just FYI for whoever's watching now or maybe watching later, there will be a discussion that's going to happen right now about a couple of particular things that happen in the book. So if you are sensitive to topics about SA or DB, maybe take a break or come back when you feel more ready to listen to that part.
Or skip ahead.
That's always an option. So I was warned. I'll just go ahead and say I'm an SA survivor. And so JL did me a solid. She didn't spoil anything. She told me flat out there is something that you need to be aware of. It is going to be rough. But there's purpose behind it. And I've told her, like, with a couple of other books that I've read, essay that is being used for a purpose and not shock value,
Mhm.
I tend to be okay with it because it kind of feeds into that this is how you take care of somebody that's
Mhm.
gone through that. Like, there's a purpose to it. They go through it, but then you see them change and morph. And one of the things that I appreciated out of, like, the interaction with Lexi and Frankie with Darcy after she runs to them after what happens is the fact that, like, she asks Frankie, "When does it ever stop hurting?" And Frankie's like, "It never does. It doesn't." And that's one of the things that I love the most, and I've said this, I don't know how many times in real life to people. Whenever something like that happens to you, that person that you are dies.
Mhm.
You'll never be that person again. And I think that's where a lot of, like, SA survivors struggle, and some of them don't make it because they can't let go of that mentality of, "If I just do this, I can get back to being that person. I can get back to the person I was before that happened." That person doesn't exist anymore, sweetheart. You're gonna have to let it go. If you want to move forward, this is who you are. You have to move forward from that point. And I love that Lexi and Frankie are acknowledging that when they're having that discussion about that topic with Darcy about what happened to her. They're just like, "This is you start from here and you keep going. Just take steps from here." So, um, the on page essay, um, is, between Darcy and her. Can we call him a long-term relationship? How long were they together?
I think like 2 or 3 years.
I
I
was
don't
gonna say,
remember.
I
It was a
know that
few
they
years.
were together a year around the time mark that the brother had to be, taken off of life support.
They messaged online for a month, went on a first date, moved in together a couple weeks later.
Yeah, the couple of weeks later, I was just like, "Dude, I've moved.
Oh yeah,
I've
so
been
they'd
known
only
to
been
move
together
fast,
for
but
about a year and a
damn."
half.
Huh?
They were together about a year and a half
About a year and a half.
total.
Okay. So, I guess that you could we'll say that's a long-term relationship. I mean, making it past the year mark, you're moving into the second year. So, they had been together for quite some time, and Matt went through a, situation where his mother and his younger brother, Jake, were in a
Mhm.
car accident. The mom, DOA on scene, little brother ended up in coma, and eventually Matt had to pull the plug. And while Jake was in the hospital and then after, um, he had to pull the plug on his little brother, Matt seemed to mentally in a big way because he started
Yeah.
hitting Darcy.
Mhm.
And one of the things that, one of the details that you had was that men that hit women, they know where to hit women. They don't mess up
Mhm.
your face normally. Like,
They
all of
go
that
for
stuff
the
that
arms and
you
the thighs and the
yeah.
ribs.
And the chest, they'll punch you in the chest where you can't,
Anywhere that
you
a
know
t-shirt or a short pair of shorts can cover is
yeah.
typically collateral.
And
Mhm.
that right there, that little aspect on top of everything, I was like, that cinches in the fact that that was always in him.
Mhm.
That was always there. That inclination to do that damage, to do that harm was there. And you see that in abusers whenever they finally do snap and you see that part of them come out, it was always there. Just they were really good at hiding it.
Mhm.
So whenever he starts doing what he does, and then we see Darcy tells Lexi about it. So at least she was brave enough to do that. And that's when the original offer for, Reggie to take care of the problem came around. But talk about the mentality that you had towards writing a character like Matt. Like, did you want him to seem more human in his downfall, or were you just like, he's a piece of shit?
So I actually wrote Matt based on my own personal past experience with my now late ex-husband, which was a lot of the reason why I reacted the way I did while I was writing it, because I took a lot of the trauma he put me through. Oh my God, it was 15 years ago now, and put it into the story. I turned him into Matt, and I kind of purged my own demons that way, just as one final FU to him. And I didn't want
Feminine rage.
to be a likable character. I didn't want to humanize him. Like, I wanted it to remind people that sometimes even the pretty faces hide the worst monsters. So initially, when I had the idea for this book, Zoo and Matt were both going to be very different people. And then when I actually, like, it's even in my outline and my notes that I had sent JL. And then when I finally sat down and started writing, they pulled a total 180 switch on me, and they ended up being completely different characters from who they were supposed to be. And it was about 4 paragraphs into chapter 1 that I was like, what am I even doing here? Like, I poured a lot of myself into those first pages.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They were hard. They were hard for me. And
They were hard for me too.
like, but I think and I've told JL this before. I think in certain circumstances, like, definitely be aware with the trigger warnings before you do this to yourself. But I think in a lot of ways, sometimes pushing through something like that, if you've been through that and you've healed enough, that's the important part. You have to be healed enough to actually go through it and really recognize, like, it reading that stuff as a survivor, you recognize how wrong some of the stuff that was done to you was, because you've grown and learned and evolved past that point enough to not blame yourself anymore. And like the fact that like I fucking hate Matt. I'd beat the shit out of that motherfucker. But like the fact that you had
Baseball bat, bitch.
the thing that fucking ate me up the worst was how he would wait. Like, there was a part where she would talk about Lexi and all of them or friends being over, and she would do or say something and it would tick his clock. He would wait till everybody left to deal with it. I have been in that situation, and you don't know fucking fear until you see somebody across the room look at you in a way that's just like, you wait till we get home.
Yep.
It's like that little child in you that's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I've ridden in the car with somebody and just been like, I'm fucked. As soon as we get to the house, I'm fucked. And it that right there hit hard, because you know what that feeling is. It's like the most visceral fear you'll ever feel.
Yeah.
Knowing that you can't get away from them. There's nothing you can do to stop what's happening. And I mean, even Darcy says, I should have fought back. I should have done this. Lexi and Frankie are kind of like, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Nope. Wouldn't have made a difference.
And I know a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have made a difference whatsoever, given the fact that, it's in him from that start. As soon as that switch hit, even before then, there were probably signs, but he kept them hidden. He probably didn't even know it, but he probably, growing up, and I'm just analyzing, as an outsider on this, probably growing up, he had a lot of, like, anger and everything, so, like, probably, like, if things didn't go his way,
rage,
something
do you
like
think
that.
maybe that had something to, like, was that an aspect? Because we're not excusing Matt. Let's not be
No,
mistaken.
not at all.
No.
Not at all.
We don't like
motherfucker
that
can
here.
go right in hell.
But like, it's odd to me, like, why did that evolve? Why was the like the explosion point? I don't know, the tipping point. Why was that the little brother dying? Why was that what caused him to start hitting Darcy?
I think a lot of it was simply because he didn't really have a father figure growing up. It was really just him, his mom, and his little brother. So he didn't have any sort of like positive male interactions as a kid and in his formative years. So by the time he was an adult, he was just kind of fully masking all the time. And it took the deaths of his only family, aside from his girlfriend, to kind of trigger what was always there, like bubbling just below the surface.
It's odd, you know, like, but I mean, I can get where that, like, it takes something that there is never an excuse for it, but there is always a cause. That's the way I look at it. There's always a cause, but never an excuse. And the fact that it was his little brother, the fact that he had to pull the, like, up until the point where I read that he started hitting her after that happened, I was just like, oh man, I feel so bad for Matt. That sucks. And then as soon as I read that next page, I was like, fuck Matt. Like, fuck you in the sir, go away.
With the cactus.
Yeah.
Like
But
he needed the pegging with the cactus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt deserves all of the rectal torment possible.
Yes.
But
especially since he suffers from anal cranial inversion.
Yep. I mean, that's if you could even hit the small part that's still in that anal cranial inversion. We need to.
Tori,
we need
you know
to do
I had to because
we need to do a
my
slight
favorite thing to
PSA here.
say.
We do not hate men.
No.
We need to do a slight PSA. We don't hate men.
We don't. We don't. But if the dude has the reason, if the dude, the woman, or any asshole in particular has the audacity to be that much of a shithead, they are clearly suffering from lack of oxygen to their brains. So therefore, they will get the true definition of anal cranial inversion.
And I will say this much. I know that like a lot of people would peg Matt. That didn't sound right. That was not intentional. Accidental double entendre. I am fucking I'm the female equivalent of Deadpool. I don't realize that I'm doing it until I've done it. Like, there's no filter. But I'm trying to think of how to word what I wanted to say now. I can't.
I'm crying. Sorry,
Try. Come on. Pull your shit together. Professional.
So instead of you'd say that Matt would be kind of more so like characterized.
I was gonna say that like it okay. I was gonna say I liked the aspect that you did with Matt, not necessarily like there are people who want to do one of two things with characters like Matt. They either want to make him like a sociopath or they want to make him a narcissist. You made him like you went the sociopath route, in my opinion. That just from my impression of him, and it felt more authentic than just calling him a narcissist. Narcissists do have violent tendencies. I know I've fucking dated more than a few, but a sociopath, the way he behaves about waiting till her friends are gone and she's out of sight to hurt her, waking up and demanding things from her that she doesn't want to give, basically hunting her throughout the house to get what he wants, throwing things, breaking things. That's a sociopath. That's somebody that is slowly descending into the part where we see the impetus of it with what he does to Darcy, which is he essays her in a very violent, vile way. And it is visceral. We'll put it that way. It's very like trigger warnings important. Yeah. But I mean, it just kind of like you see the evolution of like how it's almost in a way you see almost like the evolution of him making an excuse for the things that he does.
The escalation.
Yeah. It's like, oh, but my mom and my brother. Oh, but I had to go, I had to let my little brother go, and just it's like he keeps coming up with excuses and reasons. ANC. Annual cranial inversion. But I was like, huh?
Guy,
But
I don't know what to do with you.
acronyms are hard, but it I'm not right in the head. Welcome to the show. If you're new here, I'm completely and totally unhinged. Just buckle the fuck up.
We all are.
This guy's used to unhinged, so.
But I mean, it just seemed like you were able to show the progression of like his logic behind his shift in his justification and what he was doing and why. And it was something that I haven't really seen a whole lot in a lot of books that deal with men like that. They're just like, he's just a dick. He's just a bad guy. Well, can you explain why he's a bad guy? It's kind of like with Amarantha. We discussed, the premise behind why Amarantha is the way she is. And it's kind of the same kind of deal in a way where Matt and Amarantha both don't give a about anybody but themselves and what they want. And it's like, but how do people get like that? You're not born like that.
No.
How do you get there? Doesn't excuse it, explains it. There's a difference between excusing and explaining. Explaining is learning from something and making yourself smarter to recognize it so you sidestep it the next time. That's what I'm trying to mean by explaining. Neither does Tori, so don't ask her. But I mean so Matt pretty much forces himself on Darcy. Darcy runs, and she runs straight to Lexi and to Frankie. And the like the moment of her getting to them and kind of crying and then going numb and then crying again and then going numb and putting it out of her head. And it's that kind of the shower that she takes after Lexi, where she gets scared and she gets the soap in her eye.
Yeah.
And they're done that. But it was so, like, I've had moments like that where it's like the slightest sound. Like, I'd be willing to bet this. Darcy could probably tell who was who based off of their footsteps.
Yeah.
Like, she could tell who was Lexi, who was Frankie, and if it was somebody else other than those two, she could tell. That's one of the first things that it seems to be like DV people develop as a protective measure, is learning the footsteps, the cadence of their voice when they're mad versus when they're normal. Like, it's almost like you're having to constantly decide which Jekyll and Hyde am I dealing with today. But I mean, I thought it was really interesting that you showed that in a more realistic way instead of like trying. You didn't pussyfoot around anything. You just
You don't sugarcoat shit.
And that's good. If you're gonna do that, then don't go halfway, because if you're disingenuous with something like that, it's not.
It doesn't read the same.
Yeah.
No, it really doesn't.
And it pulls you out of the story immediately. And I didn't want that.
Yeah. It seems to automatically almost like make you dislike a character when you can tell it's disingenuous or it's being done for shock value. I fucking hate that. Like, that pisses me off worse than anything in books, where shit like that is used for shock value. I'm like, if you aren't a good enough writer to use something like that the way it is meant to be utilized and explained and experienced. Hello, Miss Rebecca Collins. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Becca.
And I will say this: when it came to later on, but I know this is much deeper in the book than Rachel you had touched on. When it came to that scene where they were meeting up again and Frankie was beat. Lexi was fine, but Frankie was beat. Bitch, I went mad. I was seeing red. I was visceral. I was about to be like, pull up, pump up, get the tire, get the salt, get everything.
Yeah.
We are burning this motherfucker. That pissed me the fuck off.
And then she called me and told me, and I was like, okay, so psycho best friend mode has now been engaged.
Yep.
Run, Matt. It's not going to do you any fucking good, but run.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw when I imagined everything that what he had done to Frankie. After Frankie literally did nothing to him.
Except exist.
Yeah, exactly. She just was fucking breathing. And the fact that I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. This dude was jealous of the fact that one, Frankie get pussy. Frankie get that pussy. She's that bitch. Because one, she is gorgeous. Two, she's pulling Lexi, who is also gorgeous. And three, she's like the hub of this trio of best friends.
What you're saying now about personality-wise coming out. Because the personality that I'm now picking up, hearing her talk about Frankie and Lexi, is Bryce Quinlan and Danica Fendier. That's what I'm hearing. That dynamic. Where it's like, bitch, I don't care. Ride or die. And if you're gonna ride, get out of my
they're like my absolute favorites. And when I saw that Matt came up and beat on my girl, I was like, nope. Call Sam, call Dean. We gotta burn the bones. We gotta salt them.
I don't even think an exorcist could help this asshole.
No,
like
no, we're gonna need the goofer bags. We're gonna need Crowley. We're gonna need Castiel. We're gonna need the whole team to deal with this motherfucker.
Bring Crowley into this shit. Either that or bring Michael the Archangel into it and just be like, have fun. Here are your knives. Just make sure you clean up after yourself, sir.
But it's just like she just was fucking existing. And he comes up on the camp and he beats the fuck out of her. And I'm just like, what a fucking douchebag.
Yep.
Like, to seriously just, I mean, to be that much of a little with the fact that, she has friends outside of him that she goes and will do these cryptid trips with. For him to be and be jealous of that factor, it's freaking ridiculously stupid. And it's sad to say that you put that, not sad on your part, but it's sad to see that, people like that do exist. But you did it so well in explaining that, he really is that kind of person where he is going to be that jealous mofo because of the fact that she's going and having a life away from him. And he doesn't have anybody else other than her.
Sad.
He relies on her for his, quote, happiness, when really all he's using her for is to be a fucking punching bag. 1, 2, bitch.
He's using her to hide.
Fuck you.
That's why he's pissed about the relationship she has with Frankie and Lexi, is that men like that view close friendships as a hurdle they have to get over. Like, they feel like that's the wall between them and that person, which is why they so often bitch about that close friendship that their girl has. Why you always got to go out with her? Why can't you just stay home with me? Like,
he can't pole vault over that wall of their friendship because his ass is gonna go smack right there because the bar for their friendship is up here. His ass is down here. If he was to try an Olympic pole vault, it would just be smack right in the fucking face.
They would have made it would bend and go up in a very unsensitive area.
It'd be like the bear in the woods that got hit in the groin.
With the thing. There was a bear that was like rubbing up against a fence, but those ties that you use to like pull, they're like bungee ties. he had the end of it in his mouth, and the bear let go, and it swung around, and hit him right in the and he just dropped. It was just like, okay. So Boo Boo's having a hard day today. Somebody get him a picnic basket.
That's basically how he views himself in relevance to that friendship. They basically are his cock block.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie. I would say, like, in my personal opinion, in what I want, I hope Reggie was the one that took care of business. But I would say this, in the real world, my personal stance on, like, moments and things that, like, you've gone through, I've gone through, and JL's gone through, and the characters have gone through. I think it's I think it's I think it should be held on the same level as murder. If you're gonna be, like, taken to court and put through the justice system, it should be the same as murder. The punishment should be be the same. Even the death penalty, because you're essentially killing a person. You're preventing them from ever being that person that they would have been without your intervention and your influence. So it's just like, I want to, like, for anybody out there who's that sort of a dick, if there ever gets a moment where I can vote on legislation like that, you're fucked. But until then, we'll just handle it the old Boston way. There'll be a body with cement shoes. But, like, okay, I guess so. I should ask, do you want me to read the thing now, or do you want me to wait?
Should we segue into the fun now, since we've hit so much in the dark and kind of, yeah.
Do you think she's ready for this?
I don't think.
I don't know. I'm excited for this because okay. Before, but do I ask now or do I ask after she reads? Would you prefer?
I should probably explain it before.
Okay, so let's go into a little bit more detail on the anatomy of Zoo, because when I was first reading it, and this is
wait,
wait.
If you give it away, I'm not gonna react to it the same way.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Because she hasn't even gotten to any of the anatomy of him yet.
I waited because I told Jay, I was like, I knew you would want this. That's why I waited. I knew this would happen. So I was just like, fuck it. Let's just lean into it, literally. So, like, the first thing that she gave me was chapter 6, page 54. And that is something
because it described the anatomy in chapter 6.
Okay.
Because that was him swimming in the hot spring after first seeing Darcy, and then, like, he's going and thinking about her, and then he starts, vibing.
Yeah.
Vibing. That's an interesting way of putting it. We're gonna vibe. Where's my page number, bitch? Tell me where I'm at. Oh, whoop! Too far. Come back. That's what she said. Okay.
Now, I don't know what generation she has as far as her Kindle goes related to mine, so I've got it on here too.
Okay, I'm on page 54. So apparently, I'm reading this out loud. So apologies for my stumbling over words. I have aphasia. For a brief moment, I'm able to simply exist. The hot spring is the most peaceful place in my entire home. I'm forever grateful to the gods for placing it here. Once again, my thoughts turn to my mate. I find myself curious. What's her name? How old is she? What is she like? Why is she in my forest? Then my mind drifts to the way she looks, and I feel my mating appendage swelling in a way that it hasn't since I was a kid. It slips out of the hidden pocket where it normally lays dormant. I feel a need to have my hand on it, so I give in. A soft bleat leaves my throat as I slowly trace my fingers up and Yeah. Needing more, I used my other hand to stroke the pocket softly, imagining my mate's hands instead of mine. My eyes squeezed closed, and I picture the way she looked as she was swimming in the lake. Her teeth were covered, but once the piece of clothing was wet, I was able to see everything underneath. Her small nipples had hardened from the chilly water. Her plump belly was furless and tanned. Her mating area was also covered by a cloth, but it was suctioned to her soft looking skin, and I was able to see the outline of her mating lips.
You want to see my mate? Show you my mate.
Keep going or stop.
Keep going.
In my defense, he hasn't spent any time around humans, okay? None. So he doesn't know the words we would use, which is why I went back and forth for a couple days on what he would refer to it as and just settled on mating appendage because it just made sense that somebody who doesn't know the very human words for that. Yes, mating appendage.
Is that Adam?
No, I went further. I was reading down further, and I got to a point, and I was just like, "Excuse me, what?"
I'm gonna stop you from doing that.
The memory of my nearly naked, soaking wet mate had me hard as stone. I switched from tracing my fingers along my appendage to using my whole hand to stroke it up and down. My other hand is fully exploring the pocket, and I insert one finger at a time inside. The pocket is warm and wet. The feeling of my fingers moving in and out combined with the sensation of my hand stroking my appendage, and it's nearly too much for me to bear. I wonder what it would feel like to finally mate with a female. I picture my little mate on her hands and knees in front of me, offering herself to me, mounting her and rutting her until I fill her with my seed. That's all it takes for me to reach the tipping point. A shiver starts at the base of my spine and goes straight to the tip of my appendage, bringing my seed with it. I continue stroking and teasing my pocket until my appendage is no longer shooting anything out. The fuck did I just read?
Monster smut.
Monster smut. Oh gosh.
Have you ever seen her speechless like this?
A couple times. This is definitely one of them.
Just please tell me it's not, like Cassian sized. Like the hand can get around it instead of like.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't want football. Although he does have a pocket, and apparently it's big enough to house an extra appendage. Oh wow. Wow.
So I have a question.
What's up?
In regards to the anatomy. So, yeah, the pocket itself, essentially, is it kind of like a combination of like the foreskin of the male genitalia with like as far as like the sensitivity goes to it?
It's just as sensitive as like
the vajayjay.
Yeah, that. It's
his happy pocket.
Okay, when you think about Mr. Tumnus, and I know because he's a character from a beloved children's novel, whatever, you don't normally want to picture his genitals, but when you picture him, you don't ever see anything, right? He's like a Ken doll. It's because
it's hidden away by the fur and everything like that. You can't really tell where it is.
But also, I am absolutely convinced that. Stop!
Adam!
I am absolutely 150% convinced that there's some hidden feature that opens up and then things come out. And you will never be able to convince me otherwise. So
I'm not disagreeing with you. It just it when I first read it, and I don't recall. Did you have that in mind when you first told me about this? Because I'm drawing a blank on that. I couldn't quite remember, and I was cock pocket. Okay,
Cock pocket.
I can roll with this.
I do that all the time. I say it just like that. Stop.
Instead of Polly Pocket, it's a penis pocket. Makes it easy to tote around.
I mean, if it fits.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. And I know this is going to sound way off. Wait. So he has a personal pocket that he keeps his appendage in. So it's kind of like his onboard toolbox. Yeah. So what about the balls? Are they extended or are they in the pocket?
I don't remember.
Was it like a carry-all? It's like my man purse, my on-person man purse where I stick everything. I'm not right.
It's a carry-on.
I mean, carry in, but yeah.
What's he packing in there?
A little bit of everything.
Rachel, you okay?
If there is, I have to know if there is an animal that has a pocket like that now.
The closest thing I was able to find is there are some species of birds that have what's known as a cloaca, which is very, very similar. I just wanted to be able to say cock pocket and get away with it.
And it worked.
It worked.
Snakes and lizards. So apparently they're called hemipenes.
They're called what?
Hemipenes. Oh my God! Is that what that looks like?
Oh God!
I'm curious, but I'm scared.
My eyes!
That bad?
The things I have just seen.
Well, if you would have let me redraw my picture.
Let's just say, are the spikes involved?
Actually, wait, I do have it on my phone. I forgot. I saved it from my author chat yesterday.
Are there spikes involved? Because apparently with these, there are quite a few. You know, kind of like how a cat's penis is barbed? Think that, but everywhere. Literally like being fucked with a cactus. Or an armadillo. Or a porcupine. Whichever you can shove in there. Wait a minute. So, like, okay. Kangaroos have a pouch where, like, their babies are, like, carried. Is that what we're similar? No.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, so, like, is the kangaroo... never thought I'd be discussing Mr. Tumnus's kangaroo pouch. Is that what we're, like, kind of, sort of looking at here? Not really looking at, but still. I looked at it. I'm sorry I did.
Look, this is the best I got. It's not graphic.
I thought, like, I'll be honest with you, I thought the real male genitalia looked bad. This is interesting.
Like, my author friends couldn't, like, visualize it while they were reading, so, like...
Oh, no!
They made me draw the legs.
No. Hell no. Hell no. No. Oh, my good God.
What?
I would go fully celibate. No. I have never had.
Wait, are you talking about from her drawing or from what you've been looking at online?
I scrolled down and I should not have scrolled. I should have just left it alone, which is what most people should do with things
See,
like
that's
that.
your own damn fault there. Oh gosh.
Yeah, kangaroos. It is right. It is a kangaroo. Okay. A male kangaroo has a single slender penis that is usually retracted and hidden away inside its cloaca. When aroused, the penis extends out of the cloaca and curves forward and upwards. It's called a bifid penis, which splits into two shafts, each capable of fertilizing a separate vagina. During copulation, kangaroos fertilize internally, but the development of the tiny joey primarily occurs externally in the mother's abdominal pouch. So, kangaroo men do have a cloaca, and inside the cloaca is where their is housed until they're ready for fun time. And apparently, it splits into two. Double your pleasure, double your fun. I'm not right in the head.
I've known this for some time now.
Okay, so I'm on chapter 16, page 139. So,
All right, Tor, you picked this one. Are you ready?
why do I feel like this needed alcohol?
No, I just went and grabbed my water, but I feel like I need something a little stronger than water in this moment.
So, chapter 15, or 16, Jimazu. I stare between my mate's eyes for a brief moment before nodding. Y'all are getting like, I have family members that can thoroughly hear everything I'm saying. The looks I'm going to get when I leave this room. I glance down between us where her hand is slowly stroking my. If you don't hear me say the word, it's because I don't want to get in trouble with you two. When I look back up her face, she has a lazy smile. Her legs lift and bend at her knees on either side of me. She scoots down so that her is closer to my. She tries to bring me into her opening, but her arm isn't quite long enough. I place my hand over hers and drag my length across her clit twice before notching the tip in her notching in her opening. Her pussy is warm and dripping wet. I can't help the way my body spasms as I start to push inside of her. I want to watch my slip in, but keep my eyes on her face instead. I manage to slide just past her pussy. She winces and tries to hide it from me. I stop moving. Are you all right, my little mate? She nods, but her tense body tells me otherwise. I pull out of her slowly, and her face and body relax. What do you need me to do so you're comfortable? Darcy hesitates a moment. I want to be on top of you, I think. I bring my arm behind her and roll us over so that she's kneeling near me. Shocked by the move, Darcy stares at me a moment before she moves. She places her knees on either side of my hips and hovers over my length. I can feel the heat coming off her, and I fight to keep myself still. My hands grip her hips as she slowly slides down onto my. She moves agonizingly slow. I grip my teeth to keep myself from spilling inside of her immediately. Once she's seated fully on top of me, her eyes fall closed and her head drops backwards. Damn it, Tori. I'm so full of you, my beast. She grinds deeply on top of me, and I grip my teeth even harder. Her feels incredible around my. Her walls are warm and wet and grip me so perfectly. It takes everything in me to stay still. If I move right now, I fear I will explode. I refuse to do so soon after finally being allowed to feel her like this. My mate begins to move slowly. She rocks her hips back and forth. I can't help but stare at her hips. swaying each movement. As her hips reach as far forward as they're able, she dips them down before rising up and backwards. Then she repeats the motions over and over. I'm entranced by her body. Her hands move to my chest and her fingers dig into my skin. Finally confident that I can move without losing it, I sit up. Mine, I grit out between clenched teeth. Darcy's head pops up and her eyelids spring open. I drive my hips up into her once and her mouth falls open, a throaty moan leaving her. Fuck, Zoo. I can feel you so fucking deeply. No one has ever been this deep inside me before. Her hands reach up for my horns and she grips them tightly as I continue to thrust up into her. She pulls my face towards hers and kisses me. Her tongue battles mine briefly. She pulls away and grinds down on top of me again. I don't even try to fight the moan that leaves me. You feel so much better than I'd imagined, my little mate. I pinch and roll her nipples one at a time before dropping my head down to her clit. I draw small, tight circles around the nub, and she grinds down onto my hand and even harder. Her hand moves to my pocket, literally called a crock pocket, and she easily slides 2 fingers inside.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Okay. So many different languages. No palabras. Her fingers thrust at the same speed that my hips do. Come with me, I breathe out. Darcy grinds her onto me harder. My thrusting hips meet hers. It doesn't take more than another moment before we're both screaming out our release. My vision goes black for a moment, then 2 fuzzy figures materialize. One is beside me, and I realize it's my mate's soul. I turn, and in front of me, Pan takes form. I reach out my hand and grip Darcy's and give it a light squeeze before I bow my head in reverence. Darcy copies me. We both stand quietly as we wait for Pan to speak. He doesn't make us wait long. Let no man or creature break apart what I have brought together. Your souls are 2 equal halves of one perfect whole. You are made for one another. You are truly each other's perfect mate. Pan pauses, and I glance up at him. His smile has me in awe. He nods towards my mate. For the mate bond to be complete, you must bite each other. It does not matter where. The bite will leave a permanent mark, and she will no longer be fully human. Her lifespan will extend to match yours. When the 2 of you decide the time is right, you will be able to breed her, but not until you've agreed upon it. So worry not about unexpected offspring. Care for and love one another always. Do not let doubt come between you. Do I keep going or do I stop?
I mean, that's the worst best of it, I guess. Like
There's
that's
3 more pages.
Fuck it,
You
go
said
for
3
it.
more. You said 3 more pages. Before either of us are able to respond, my vision returns to normal, and Darcy is still seated on my lap. My cock is still hard inside her. She lunges for me and wraps her arms around my back. My arms circle hers, and we sit in silence, just holding each other. When she pulls away, eventually, silent tears are falling from her eyes. I never thought it was possible to love someone so soon after meeting them, but I do. She pauses and takes a deep breath, then continues, I love you, my beast. Her eyes look into mine, and I see the truth of her words. My hands move to cup her face. You are my heart, the air in my lungs, every thought in my head. I never want to be without you. I want to sleep in this bed with you always. I want you to be the first thing I see when my eyes open each morning and the last they see each night. I want to hear you speak my name every day and cry out my name every night. More tears fall from her eyes, and I use my thumb to wipe them away. Quietly, she asks me, You love me, don't you? I nod once. Yes, little mate, I love you. No sooner than the words leave my lips, she launches herself at my mouth. She kisses me with fervor. Her tongue slides into my mouth, and she only pulls away when she needs to breathe. My stirs inside of her when I see the look on her face. Her eyes are wide, and her pupils have swallowed the blue almost completely. She lifts her hips slightly, then drops down onto me one time. Fuck me, Jim Mizzou. Fuck me hard. Bite me and make me yours forever. God damn it. That's going to be on the internet forever. Me reading that's going to be on the internet forever. I don't question her words. I flip us so that her back lands on the bed before she can wrap her legs around me. I pull them up to her chest and use them to drive into her deeply. Her hand reaches for mine and she guides it to her throat, placing my thumb on one side and the rest of my fingers on the other. Choke me, my beast. Grip my throat until I can't take it anymore. I give her throat a light squeeze as I thrust into her, but it isn't enough for her. Harder, Sue. You'll know if it's too much. I squeeze harder and a smile takes over her lips as her eyes flutter closed. Her hands reach up and grab my horns tightly. I shift so that I'm on my knees, my hands still squeezing her throat. I lift her hips slightly and drive into her deeper yet. Her eyes spring open and meet mine as I reach down and stroke her. Sue, she whispers out, gonna come. I lean down, my hands still on her throat and clit. I bring my lips to her ear and tell her, going to bite you now, little mate. I thrust into her and she bucks her hips up into me. Her soft walls grip my even tighter as they begin to spasm. I bite down into her shoulder where it meets her neck while releasing her throat. She stretches up and bites me in the same place. We orgasm together. Her walls grip my rhythmically as she milks me. I continue thrusting into her until her calmed. My cock finally manages to stop leaking my seed. I remove my teeth from her shoulder and she does the same. I bring my face to hers and kiss her once before slowly pulling out of her. I drop onto my back beside her on the bed. She manages to drag herself over to me and lays her head on my chest, her arms draped across my body. I bring her body even closer and wrap one arm around her. She kisses my chest lightly. She mumbles a quiet, I love you. A moment later, her breathing evens out and she's asleep. I kiss the top of her head, then pull a fur up over us. It only takes a moment before I'm following my mate into sleep. I wake to the feeling of my mate's warm mouth surrounding my. I open my eyes and glance down. Her eyes peek up at me and she lifts a single eyebrow at me. The tip of my hits the back of her throat and I groan. My hands reach down and stroke her hair. She reaches up and takes one of my hands in hers and buries it in her messy hair before her hand leaves mine. I grip her hair and her eyes roll back. I feel my orgasm only a moment before it happens and growl out, gonna fill your throat with my seed. She doesn't pull away. Instead, she suctions her mouth more deeply around my and swallows every bit that spurts from me. When my is spent, she climbs up my body. I give her a satisfied smile and she grins up at me. I lay her down onto my chest and stroke her hair as I try to even out my breathing. Are you kidding me again? Again! Crying. When I wake up for the second time, my mate and I are tangled up with one another. Our legs are entwined. Our arms are wrapped around each other's body. Even her hair is wrapped around my horns. I remove my arms and easily unwind her hair. I resituate myself that I'm facing my mate. I have no sense of time as I lay and watch her quietly. My hand reaches up and brushes several loose pieces of hair out of her face. My finger lightly traces down her jaw. Her body tenses slightly and her eyelids flutter briefly. I pull my hand away from her face, worried that I may have woken her. Her face settles back into sleep, and I can't help but keep watching her. Her body relaxes back into mine. Once again, I send a quiet prayer up to Pan, thanking him for my fortune. I lose myself to my thoughts, and my mind drifts for a while. I recall memories from when I was much younger. I think of my parents and my siblings. I feel a pang in my heart at their strange disappearance. I wonder, not for the first time, what could possibly have happened to them. The longer I think of them, the heavier my heart feels. Darcy stirs, pulling my attention back to the present. Her hand rubs her chest and her eyebrows furrow. Her eyes pop open and she stares at me. She takes one look at my face and throws her arms around me. She buries her face in my chest and rubs my back. I don't know how, but I can feel your sadness, my beast. What's wrong? Did I do something? She pulls away from me and I can feel how worried she is. I take a deep breath. It's the mate bond. When we sealed it last night with our bites while I was buried deep inside you, it connected pieces of our souls. I forgot about that aspect of mates. I'm sorry I failed to warn you about it. Do I stop?
You might as well. The rest of it is just
Cinnamon roll moments.
yeah.
Contented bleat. Meh. Okay, that was definitely something. Wow. Um,
I was crying over here.
I feel shell shocked like you fucking read about. Like, all I can say is, damn, girl liked her some goat dick. She was fucking riding the hell out of him. But the whole, like, pocket massaging, I was just like, okay, well, at least she knows what she's doing because she's had to do it to herself enough. So at least he's benefiting from that.
Yeah.
But still, I was just like,
That was my thoughts exactly. I was like,
I lost track of holes at one point. I was like, wait a minute, where is everything? Let me account for everybody's genitalia in this.
I think Tori ran out of alcohol at one point. Yeah. Sky, that's.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wrote no such thing.
Bullshit.
Wait a minute. Wait. Back the fuck up here
God.
for just a minute. From what I read, there's no foreplay. How?
No, there was. There was.
Oh, there was?
There
Thank
was.
God, because I was going to say.
There was foreplay early on. This was just their first time together.
Okay.
In that chapter. That was their first time together.
I was going to say, at first, I didn't read anything about any lube or anything until, like, he was already inside her and she got wet. I was like, how? But then.
Sorry. Forgot to preface that. There was a foreplay that happened beforehand.
Yeah, the chapter before is a lot of them playing around. And up until that point, there was no P in V. She was still kind of gun shy because of Matt. So any interaction physically they'd had up until chapter 16 was him telling her, was Zoo telling Darcy that she can use him however she needed to make herself feel better. And at one point he mentioned that he'd been at attention for like 3 days, and she's like, you've been walking around like that for like, that's almost exactly word for word.
3 days, yeah.
She's like, you've been like that for 3 days. How is that not painful for you? She's like, and he says something super sugary sweet, and he's like,
diabetic.
Yeah, he's like, it wasn't something you were comfortable dealing with, so I didn't bring it up. And it kind of just sparks conversations, and they're able to communicate about her wants and needs versus what she's currently able to give up until chapter 16.
I have a question. Did she explore the pocket before she just went like fucking knuckle deep in it?
She did a couple times, yes. In the hot spring, once outside and
wait. Don't skim over that. Wait. She fucking explored the pocket while she was in the hot spring. So how did she not feel what was in it?
She did. But they both kind of pretended that didn't exist because she wasn't ready to acknowledge it yet.
How do you explain a trouser snake that big not existing? That's like over 6 inches. That's at least minimum 8. I'm never going to be able to look at goats again.
You're what?
I said I'm never going to be able to look at goats again. All those cute little goats on Instagram that constantly keep.
I'm sending you all of the goat videos now. From now on, all of them.
That's great. That's great. Yes. From now on, I'm going to get nothing but goat videos. I've got one psycho. I'm talking about you, Brandon. fucking sending me fucking spider videos left and right. For a while, my whole fucking Instagram feed on the pod account was nothing but fucking tarantulas. I was just like, you're fucking
oh, I want her to read Little Liar. I want her to read Little Liar.
Wait. So she just, of her own volition, woke up and was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna. I want to taste.
Yeah.
She wants to milk.
You've never woken up in a mood where you were just.
I used to do that, sweetie. One of the benefits with being me, I have the highest sex drive known to females. I could literally outdo anybody. I would spend my entire day on my fucking knees as long as he could do it properly. Like, literally would fuck a man through the mattress. I have broken beds.
Guys, you guys are two sides of the same coin.
I don't tap out. They do.
Yeah, two sides of the same coin, people.
How okay, what's your best? What's your best in like
Oh God.
No. How many times in one go?
Like that I have
Oh, well, I didn't think we were gonna get this personal.
somewhere upwards of 15 or 16.
Mine hit about 20, 25. And that was without break
to go further.
That was without breaks though. But like in a day, how many times? Because my max out like sessions in a day was like 12.
Like in a 24-hour period?
Like we started at 8 a.m. and then we ended about 12 hours later.
Oh,
like, that was my birthday. I was just getting all day. Best birthday I ever had. Because I got to tell him exactly how I wanted him to do it. And I got details on the descriptions and instructions. And if he fucked up, I told him, no, try again. At one point, he pissed me off so badly. I literally looked at him and I was like, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Got up and walked out. Yeah, I'm straight up savage about that shit. Why do I have a feeling that at some point in the near future, Tori's going to be like, I'm going to make a character that's just as blunt and vicious as like no filter. I could be a no filter fawn instead of a ghost.
I'm trying to think of all the all the characters I currently have.
Like
I don't think I currently have one.
I will say one thing, like props to my girl Darcy for just like getting in it. She was just like, all right. I will say this though. What is it about fucking, like, I understand it's like a primal thing, the biting. Just, gentlemen, if you're gonna fucking do that shit, you better fucking ask permission before you do. You bite me, you better hang on, because as soon as you turn me loose, oh, it's on like Donkey Kong. Like, I had a dude bite me in the middle of happy time. Let's just say the next morning, yeah, he woke up, but I was a little more than usually enthusiastic, and homeboy walked around with a hickey in a very sensitive area for about 3 or 4 days.
This is some serious, like, side quest girl brand. I was not expecting to happen on the show today.
Look at Rebecca. I need to go to bed. Was happy to join. Please feel free to come back. That didn't sound right. That didn't sound right. Given everything I just read, that did not sound right. Apologies, Rebecca.
I'm on her back now, y'all hear?
I can just hear the rewatches of this. I can hear people rewatching this and just being like, "She did what? With the what was she talking about? She read it? What the fuck?" Yes, I read it aloud because I have no shame, just like King with the Bang. But yeah, just props to Homegirl for just being like, "There's a pocket. I'm gonna make use of it. I'm gonna see how deep this pocket goes."
Oh, the epilogue.
Can I read the epilogue?
By all means, girl, go ahead.
I'm scared.
Because I think I know where you're going.
JL's like sitting here, like getting ready to like wipe the tears away when she starts laughing.
So the epilogue takes place 15 years after the end, okay? And it's from Zoo's point of view. Waking up next to my mate in our home is one of my favorite parts of the day. It never fails to start it off right, even after 15 years worth of mornings with her beside me. I thank Pan every day for bringing us together. My mate hasn't physically aged much at all. Her hair is still the same shades of earthy browns that it was when we met. The skin around her eyes is still smooth and blemish-free, unlike that of her friends. Lexi and Frankie visit us a couple of times each year and usually stay for about a month. They married 10 years ago, and it was the first time that I stayed away from the forest for more than a few hours. Being around that many humans was unnerving, despite the fact that the wedding was a masquerade ball. Not a single person, aside from my mate, her friends, and Lexi's father, knew that I'm not human. It would have felt freeing if not for how loud all of the humans were. Fucking felt. I roll over in our bed, and my mate hums low in her throat. I'm not ready for her to wake yet. I need to finish setting up my surprise for her outside. I lightly kiss the top of her head before pushing waves of relaxation towards her. Our bond has come in handy over the years, and I'm once again grateful that my human mate is able to use it the same way I am. Easily slipping out from under her, I replace my body with the pillow. As she curls her body around it, I quietly walk out of our bedroom and turn down the short hallway. Reaching the kitchen, I pull a bottle of water out of the refrigerator and head out of the back door. Once I told Darcy about the cache of coins I'd found in the caves, she had Lexi's father sell them for us. Because of the money from the sale, we've added onto the house a couple of times. We now have a second bedroom as well as a second bathroom. Both are used primarily when Lexi and Frankie come to stay. Our yard is filled with small animals in fenced areas. Darcy insisted we raise chickens, cows, and pigs. We even have a couple of goats. I don't know why I threw that in there. There are also several cats that roam around outside our house. We let them in once winter sets in. To this day, I still don't know why we need so many of the animals. We don't eat them, though we do use the eggs from the chicken and milk from the cows. My mate used her phone to learn how to make various cheeses from both the cow and goat milk. She also learned how to make soap from goat milk as well. I don't know. I fill each of the animals' troughs with their preferred foods before heading to the backside of the cowshed. Standing in front of the nearly complete goat man-made hot spring, I assess what I still need to do. Pan granted me a vision 2 weeks ago, and it was the first time in several years. Darcy had tripped and twisted her ankle. When she hit the ground, she landed just right on her hip. She was unable to walk at all for days after the fall. The wild god showed me what I needed to gather in order to build a hot spring right here. It took me several days to gather everything, and then I had to dig several feet into the ground. I spent another week placing rocks into a circle and gathering clay from the riverbed to seal the cracks. 2 weeks later, we have a miniature pool behind the shed. When Darcy called me inside last night for dinner, it was empty. Looking at it this morning, I see that it's full of water. Pan only knows how it was filled in only a few hours overnight. The god never fails to amaze me. Satisfied with the heat coming off the water, I turn away and head to the flower garden. My little mate was dead set on growing as many types of flowers as possible. Our home is always fragrant from the fresh blooms. I sidestep the native flowers and enter the greenhouse we built the spring before Lexi and Frankie's wedding. I'm hit with the warmth at the same time as the scent of various flowers. Darcy takes great care of all her flowers, and this greenhouse is a point of pride for her. I once tried counting the different species and lost count around 40. I walked to the back of the humid building and retrieved the stash of imperfect roses I hid the day before. My mate is obsessed with all different colors of the delicately scented blooms, and I don't blame her. Turning over a bucket to sit on, I begin the process of removing the rose petals from the stems. I make quick work of it and manage to only stick myself 3 times on the thorns. After plucking each petal loose, I drop them into a basket off to the side. Once the basket is full, I stand and return the bucket to its home beneath the workbench. Gathering the basket in my arms, I exit the greenhouse and head to the cabin's back door. I drop handfuls of the rose petals in a path from the door all the way to the hot pool, then return the basket to the greenhouse. When I return to the pool, I search the bond, feeling that Darcy is teetering on the edge of sleep and awake. Good morning, little mate. Grab your fluffy robe and join me outside. Good morning, my beast. Why don't you come back inside and join me in bed instead? I have a surprise for you out here. Put your robe on and follow the path I left you. Before she's able to ask more questions or convince me to come back inside, I do something I haven't done in at least a year. I close the mental door between us. Now she'll have no choice but to come out here. I lean against the front of the pool while I wait on her. She doesn't make me wait for long before I hear her walking towards me. A smirk appears on my lips as she enters my sight. Her face appears annoyed at first, then she sees the warm pool behind me. She stops in her tracks, still several feet away from me. Jamazu, what is this? I push off the stone front and approach her, taking her face in my hands. I know how much you miss being able to sit in the hot spring anytime you'd like. Pan showed me how to build you one. I shrug my shoulders. You built me a hot tub, Zoo. By hand, you built me a damn hot tub. An incredulous look overtakes her features. I reopen the mental door between us and awe is pouring out of her. It's nearly enough to bring me to my knees. I simply nod. She jumps up into my arms and I catch her. She covers every inch of my face in kisses, and by the time she's done, I have a goofy grin plastered to my lips. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She plants her lips against mine and our mouths move together in perfect sync. When we separate, she asks, please tell me it's ready for us to get in. It is. I shift her and loosen the belt of her robe. She lets it fall from her shoulders, and I hang it on a nearby branch. Still holding her, I ascend the stairs and step across the wall. My hooves dip into the warm water, and I walk down the interior steps. It's deep enough that the water reaches her hips while I carry her. I stop in front of the bench I built along the far wall before turning and sitting down. She sighs in contentment as soon as the majority of her body is submerged. I reach up and loose her waist-length hair from its messy bun as she tips her head backwards. Gods above, Zoo, I forgot how good this feels. She groans out, and her entire body relaxes into the water. Her back arches just enough that her breasts pop above the water. My eyes track a bead of water as it slides down her ample chest onto her nipple. I can't help myself when I lean forward and take the dripping nipple into my mouth. My tongue swirls around the hardening beak, and my teeth graze her flesh. She grinds her core against my lap, and it causes my cock to rise from the pocket. I pop free of her nipple, and before I switch to the other side, I catch her eyes with my own. Tell me what you want, little mate. As I take her second breast in my mouth, she grinds into me a second time. A wicked grin curves her lips upwards, and I feel my stiffening more. I know that look. It's one of my favorites. I want you to fuck me good and hard, then carry me into the house with your cock still inside me, each step thrusting into my pussy. When we get to our room, I'm grabbing the strap on and I'm going to until you beg me to let you come. She doesn't give me a chance to respond before she slides down my length. She doesn't hesitate to take all of me at once. Make me scream your name. The next hour is filled with me fucking my mate across every inch of the pool. Every time I come close to orgasming, she makes me slow down. She begs me to wait until she has her favorite toy inside of me. Always eager to please her, I manage to keep from filling her with my cum. I have her on her knees on the bench facing the pool wall. My hand is gripping a fistful of her hair as I thrust into her from behind. I've brought her close to orgasm several times since we shifted into this position, but I stop right before. I want her to come so hard that she passes out before I carry her inside. I pull out of her just long enough to tell her to turn around. As soon as she does, I lift her up onto the edge of the wall. Her legs wrap around my waist, and I slide right back inside of her as her arms wrap around my neck, pulling me close to her. I release her hair and bring my hand to her throat, gripping it in the perfect spots to feel her. Her eyes light up as she registers what I'm planning. Play with your little mate. One of her hands drops between us, and she rubs circles around it, teasing herself. My fingers tighten around her throat, cutting off her blood supply. Pinch it the way I do. As she does as she's told, I bring my mouth to her mark. My tongue traces along the indents my teeth left all those years ago. Her body shudders against me, and her walls clench harder. The moment I send her the thought, my teeth bear down on her mark. Her grips my so tightly that it almost feels as if she's trying to remove it from my body. I feel her orgasm hit her, and I let my grip on her throat go slack. Pussy, why did it? Walls clench and unclench around me, and I hear her release hit the water. I lift my head and see that her eyes are closed. A quick check in the bond, and I know that she's out. Walking slowly, I continue to thrust into her, making sure that I don't come yet. I carefully step out of the pool and grab her robe from the branch. It takes me longer than usual to make it into our house, but once I'm inside, I beeline for our room. I toss her robe onto the chair we keep in the corner of the bedroom. Nope, no intrusive thoughts. Gently, I kneel on the bed and drop my mate in front of me. She stirs as I drive into her over and over. Another orgasm hits her and rouses her fully. The wicked look appears on her face again, and I know she's about to demand her turn. I withdraw from her warmth slowly, then lay back on the bed. She climbs over me to her side of the bed and opens a drawer of her nightstand. According to my mate, she had to have a strap-on specially made for us so that she can fuck me while I fuck her.
I'm sorry, Tori. I'm not laughing at you.
Wow.
Most straps attach to the toy in the front of the groin area, not hers. The strap sits directly over her clit. Sometimes she uses a vibrating dildo to fuck me. The way it makes both of us orgasm earned it the title of our favorite toy right away. She easily slips the strap up her full hips and hooks the silicone in place. She crawls up to my head, the dangling close to my lips. Suck it, Zoo. Get it nice and wet for me. I lift my head and take the fake in my mouth. I twirl my tongue around the tip and she thrusts her hips. The tip kisses the back of my throat and I gag lightly. She grins down at me, pleased. When she pulls it out of my mouth, a line of my spit follows it. My mate moves to straddle my hips, lining both her fake and my very real one up with their intended targets. My hands grip her hips and I pull her down. We impale each other and each let out a guttural moan. Teeth clenched, I manage to grit out, me, Darcy. My mate bounces and thrusts, knowing exactly how to move to bring me to the edge once again. She dips her hips as she leans over me, her hair falling around us like a curtain. My hand snakes up to her throat, and I hold her in place as I drill my hips up. Yes, just like that, Zoo. Don't stop. Never, my love. I'll never stop. Our orgasms hit us at the same time. My thickens as it empties into her. Her walls grip me tightly again and again, milking every drop from me. Darcy shifts and lays down on top of me, the silicone still inside me. Mike is still hard, and I refuse to pull out of her just yet. We lay together, enjoying the feeling of one another for hours. Eventually, Darcy drifts off to sleep, and right before I give in, I send up a prayer to the wild god, thanking him for my mate once again.
Wow.
That's a way to sign off on a book.
It's definitely got two things up. I don't think they're hands or thumbs. I have never in my entire life been so confused by anatomy.
Uh-huh.
I
You're
feel like I
welcome.
need to go back to anatomy class,
Uh-huh.
even though it's not going to help because it's
No.
code anatomy.
Uh-huh. Even a zoology class won't help you, honey.
I'm never going to
No.
look at Mr. Tumnus the same again, am I?
No,
No,
ma'am.
no,
I'm
ma'am.
not sorry.
R.I.P. R.I.P. James McAvoy is the goat man.
R.I.P. to my childhood.
Hey, maybe if he's hey, maybe if you get this bought into like a film or like a TV series, you can literally tap him to play.
No, he'd be too old by then.
But he's still gorgeous. It doesn't matter if he's old as long as he can.
He
still
could play
talk.
Pan.
He could play Pan.
So who would you fan cast as Zoo?
Oh fuck, I don't know. I haven't.
She's like, damn it! Why did you ask me that? Like first thing off my mind, Tom Hardy. Too gruff, not pretty enough.
I mean, he is, but he's too rugged.
Okay, Cillian Murphy.
No, also too rugged.
Too rugged. Jamie Dornan.
No.
Way too rugged. Because you want that cinnamon roll energy.
Yeah, and those are all very alphas.
What about I cannot remember his fucking name to save my life. The dude that played Pierto Maximoff.
Still kind of rugged.
Yeah.
Why not? He's pretty, and he's
He is pretty.
No, not that he's not pretty.
Well, then you tell me. I'm coming up. I'm like, I don't want to say that. I'm not going to say that word. I'm not going to say that word. I started to say that word, but I'm not going to say that word. That word is now off limits for me. For now.
What about Chalamet?
Too baby-faced.
He's immortal, though.
That doesn't mean he's a baby face. And he's not immortal. He just has a really long lifespan.
Long lifespan. True.
I'm sitting here trying to think of somebody else. I'm just gonna say this right here and now. Not Sebastian. You leave my man alone. you leave Seb alone. I would never be able to. I will not have that man abused in that manner.
Oh, wait. What about... Oh. Hang on. I forget the actor's name. Dude who played Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, God, what you had this Tommy Malik? Is that it? It's Malik.
No,
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek.
Rami Malik, my bad. Why not Tom Holland?
The guy that plays Lip Gallagher.
Yes, I sign off on it. Yes,
Because
that's the one.
he's not a classically attractive guy. You have to like look at him for a few minutes for it to be like, okay, yeah, I do that.
He gives me the Zoo vibe with the floppy hair and then kind of like that. He's not sculpted, but he's got
Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah.
That's my Zoo.
Oh, nice.
I sign off on it.
Cosign. I mean,
you see it.
Oh my
don't you?
God! I'm just gonna screenshot something and send it to you both on Instagram, and you have to react to it because I had to read this much.
Oh God, this was not agreed upon. Tor, I know nothing about this.
It's a picture of the dude she's talking about.
Are you about to catch yourself a ban for?
No. Tori's like, Zoom.
Mm.
I said what I said.
Yeah. I co-sign.
I mean, yeah, that's a yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, the nose really does it for me too.
I mean, just I think it's good casting.
Who would you pick as Darcy?
Yeah.
What's her name? Hold on.
Tori's like, why didn't y'all ask me this shit beforehand so I could find
I
pictures?
told her I needed a list of questions that you
This was one I did not think of. Okay, that was her.
Yeah, that was my bad. I brought this about. Sorry, not sorry.
Told you that one over there comes up with the wild stuff.
Not gonna lie. True.
No.
I'm the one with the dirty mind. Well, she's got a dirty mind too. JL has a dirty mind too. The only problem is she keeps
I
hers
know.
internal and I'm external. Just like Zoo, apparently, whenever he gets happy.
Tori knows all about my dirty mind.
The any thought becomes an outer thought. Like, I can't. The only person, I'll be honest with you, the only person I could probably think of as like Darcy would be Haley Steinfeld.
So I have two that kind of just looks wise. Cara Delevingne and Camila Mendez.
I like that.
They both kind of look the way I imagine her.
I'm looking up the other one. I could see her more as Frankie. That I could see
Which
her as
one?
Darcy. The Camila Mendez. Like she looks more like Frankie to me.
I mean, if she had like purple hair or blue or whatever color I decided to go with, I don't remember.
Yeah, that shit. What about here? Let me toss out one. That didn't sound right. I hate new shit that Google has implemented. It's like AI mode, and I'm like, I didn't ask you for AI mode. I just asked you to find a fucking picture, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that in the background? Somebody, is that a fur ball or? Oh, I did not. I didn't.
I think that's the first time I think Adam's been referred to as having a furball.
I didn't. No internal filter. It's all external.
Margot Robbie is totally Lexi.
Yes.
Hands down. 100%. Like, I could totally see that. I'm trying to find, like, Darcy is sexy, but she's sweet. So I'm trying to find, like, the right picture.
What about that,
Okay. Anna de Armas.
I have no idea who that is.
She's been
did you ever see the Keanu Reeves movie where he a couple girls showed up outside of his house and they ended up like basically taking over the house and beating the hell out of him and doing all the crazy shit?
I don't watch a whole lot of movies.
There we go.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Like, I'm trying. Darcy has brownish blonde hair, right?
No, it's like 4 different shades of brown all mixed in one. If I remember correctly, Zoo describes it using very earth plant type colors that are all different shades of brown, like walnut and woolgrass, and I think fawn and something else.
Okay, I sent you the picture and instead of trying to show you because it always ends up washed out.
Yeah, I have no idea who she is.
I don't know what all movies. I know she was in a movie with. I think
She was in that Marilyn Monroe movie that came out a couple years ago that basically like flopped.
I think she was in.
It was bad. You're not missing much on it. She did great, but the movie itself flopped. And then so you're not missing much.
Ballerina, and she did Deep
Ballerina's
Water.
not even out yet.
Well, she's the ballerina in that film. Deep Water, Ghosted, Blade Runner 2045, Knives Out, No Time to Die, Eden, Gray Man, War Dogs, White Creek, Sergio, Hands of Stone, Overdrive, Foes, Informer. Like, she's been in a shit ton of movies.
Yeah.
But like I just it's immediately like just I don't know, it's like her. You know who would be actually really good? What is that chick's name that played Jen Erso? Not Felicity Jones. What about her?
Why do I know that name?
She played Jen Erso.
She was Stephen Hawking's wife in The Theory of Everything.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Have you seen Rogue One?
She was in that movie about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
I don't really watch movies.
My finger.
Hang on, I'll show you a picture. You might it may or may not help.
See, it washes it out.
Yeah, it does.
Damn it. How about that?
I could see it.
I'm trying to find one with like backgrounds that aren't white.
I can't see yours, but oh, yeah, I can kind of see it. Like a little less traditional bang and more like curtainy bang.
Yeah.
Like that. Come on, phone. Stop being a dick and wash the shit out. There we go.
There it is.
Like it's just like it's the shape of her face. She just looks like she's got like that sweetheart face.
Yeah.
But she also looks fucking devious as all shit. They look like a freak. She's married to the guy that played Newt Scamander. His fucking name.
Oh.
Yeah, she's married to him. But like her as Jen Erso, perfection. Best fucking casting that has come out of Disney. Let's just put it that way. So Margot Robbie, and then we have that dude. And I think we're well on our way to casting your movie. But
lots of discussions, lots of contracts, lots of legal actions that need to be taken care of for that to happen.
Dude.
So much people. You gotta hire the right person for it.
Is there anything that you would want somebody to know about your book before we sign off? Like, if you had anything to kind of like, you had to define it and pitch it.
If I what?
If you had to define your book and pitch it to somebody, what would you tell them?
So, what I've been posting on Threads daily the last couple of weeks, just like my elevator pitch, I guess, is. Jesus Christ, I posted that.
Oh, so, and also any upcoming projects we should be aware of.
Oh, yeah.
So, elevator pitch for Hoof It. If cottagecore books about women being absolutely railed by inexperienced cryptids are your thing, you need to grab Hoof It today. While there are trigger warnings, Hoof It is not a dark romance. It's a spicy monster romance that touches on a few heavy themes in the beginning. Hoof It is 75% spice, 10% plot, and 15% feel-good fluff. So, and then I took these really, really pretty pictures a couple days ago because we had a whole bunch of dandelions growing in our yard, and I wanted to, cottagecore vibes photos. And naturally, while I was outside, we had our windows open because it was like 1 billion degrees, and I'm in a hoodie and sweatpants taking these pictures. And he stands at the window and he's like, "Is that a book?" I held it up and I said, "Yeah, it's my book." He's like, "What are you?" I said, "I'm taking." He goes, "Oh, got it. Carry on." It's like, all right.
He's like, as you were.
Let me take my pretty aesthetic photos because I'm not a very aesthetic girly. But yeah, so any pictures you see of my book on my socials in the next few days is going to be like this with my little goat beanie baby. I got it specifically for this book so that I can market with it.
It's so small and cute.
Yeah, it's smaller than the book. As for upcoming projects, I actually have not publicly announced yet. I've told my team and my author friends, and of course JL knows. I was published earlier this year in a dark romance anthology, and I just got my rights back to my 19,000 word short story. I'm calling it a novelette because it's super short. Just got my rights back 2 weeks ago. Immediately put together a cover for it myself, which I have not posted anywhere yet. And ran to my KDP dashboard and set up a pre-order for it. So in the next few days, I am going to start pushing pre-orders for Icicle. In the meantime, I'm going to be writing some extra chapters and then releasing a fuller length book under a different title with a whole new cover that will be a dark romance, feminine rage. She takes back her power in a really big way. And then Icicle releases June 13th. The longer book, I don't have a date in mind
Pre-order!
yet. Yeah, please. No date in mind for the full length book.
I'll make sure to add that link as well. I linked Hoof It, so I'll make.
I haven't put together the pre-order link yet. People,
okay,
looking at you, have already pre-ordered it. But again, I haven't posted it publicly before now.
Yeah, ma'am, you go to Torrence Robb on Amazon. It's already up there to be able to pre-order.
You and like 2 other people follow me on Amazon, so like it was within hours of the pre-order being approved by Amazon. I already had 2 pre-orders in, so that was great actually. And then I will be doing a title and blurb reveal really soon for my current whip, which is a contemporary polyamory BDSM MMMFF. Everybody's fucking. The boyfriend has a boyfriend.
Everyone's
he also
basically
has a
fucking.
girlfriend. Romance. It's actually, if you subscribe to the paid tier of my newsletter or my Patreon, each week I send out a chapter for it. And this week, actually, some new inspiration hit me yesterday. And I came up with an idea on how to more authentically introduce 2 new characters, which took it from MMF to MMMFF, which I wasn't anticipating. So
3 men, 2 women. Girl!
why choose?
Look, I had the line, "Oh, so you're just out here picking up partners like they're Pokemon, huh?" pop into my head. So like I had to run with it.
Hey, you gotta collect them all.
Pokemon
Yeah.
Go.
And my girl AJ is definitely collecting them all.
I just pre-ordered Icicle.
Actually, Jay, if you remember correctly, this is a story that I initially started, I want to say 2 years ago, that happened because of a dream.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
the
yeah.
only thing
I remember. I
from
remember.
Japanese was
Uh-huh.
such a pretty little rope bunny. So there's a lot of shibari play.
What's a rope bunny?
So
What is
it's
a rope
very
bunny? Somebody help.
a rope.
Can I explain it?
She's like, me.
Well, yeah. But no. So no, that's serious. But no, a rope bunny is the terminology used for someone who is the receiver of rope play. So like being bound and tied in foreplay as well as in the actual acts of makes you fun time.
See, I'm good with stuff like that. Just warn me beforehand or ask me. Don't spring that shit on me.
So I currently have a running list of content warnings because I don't want any of my readers to go into my advanced chapters blind. So I have a whole, I counted them today because I was writing in between a million loads of laundry. And I'm currently up to 38 different content warnings. And I'm only 10 chapters in. They're not all trigger warnings, but like it's not dark, but there are some things like there's certain kink aspects that I need people to be aware of. Like there's some DVP, there's some the ones that won't get us in trouble. There's mentions of punishments, use of honorifics. Like there's DDLG, there's going to be a little bit of DDLB. Then there's the shibari aspect. Consensual teasing, graphic spicy times, which start in chapter 5. I got started on that early.
Hate teasing. Hate that shit. It pisses me off. It's like, dude, I'm here for something. Let's do it. Don't fucking string. She's the slow burn girly. Me, I'm just like,
I'm not always the slow burn girly.
There's
not always
coloring and hand necklaces, some mutual oral. There's spit roasting, and some chapters flip between character POVs. So I think chapter 7 has 3 different POVs all in one.
Excuse me, what's spit roasting?
This one's on me, isn't it? Man, woman.
I thought that was Eiffel Tower.
No, that's when they...
Oh.
See, I had to ask. We were sitting at my parents' house 2 weeks ago having our car worked on. And he was in the living room, and I looked at him, and I wanted to call it an Eiffel Tower, but I didn't think that was what it was because there's no clapping or like high-fiving involved in that specific scene. And I looked at him dead ass, straight face, and I was like, what's it called when they're like this, but they're not like high-fiving? He goes, it's a spit roast. I was like, thanks, babe. So, yeah. I have a couple of author friends that are currently alpha reading it for me, and they have gone feral for this whip. So, my one friend, Edie Crow, she
Edie, where you at?
She's supposed to be taking a final exam. Whether or not she's actually currently doing it, I don't know. But she said today that she's manifesting that R&R, which is my work, which is the title I'm publicly using, is going to have a cult-like following. Just because every time I have a new unhinged idea, I run it by ED because she's so thirsty for these characters. I'm like, the comments she leaves in my doc are top tier. Like she's She's a huge Liam stan. He's one of the main male characters, and she also very much is all about Kane, who's one of the others. And you guys,
I'm not prepared, am I?
no, and I have every week when I send out an advanced chapter to Substack and Pates, I have to be like, R&R is so very different from Hoof It. Like, they're number one, they're all humans. Number two, they're the two. AJ, the main female character, and her partner Liam are in an established dynamic and relationship. They have a DDLG relationship. They've been together like 3 years, and she's
So many acronyms I don't know the meaning of.
Daddy
Daddy
Dom,
Dom,
little girl.
girl. Liam is very much daddy, and
Is there a Dom and then a little girl, or is the Dom?
It's a type of relationship thing.
So it's
You're
like
gonna
kinda
want
like
to
a
go down
Dom
the
and a
rabbit
brat?
hole.
Is it like a Dom and a brat?
yeah, kind of, except she doesn't brat. She needs more. She almost needs more. I don't want to say parenting,
Like sugar baby.
except there's no. There are times where she age regresses. It hasn't happened yet in my whip, but I know it's coming to
That's what she
a
said.
younger mental age. And a lot of times within the DDLG dynamic, spicy times will happen during that, but it doesn't, for a lot of people in that dynamic, it doesn't. With them, she needs, I guess, supervision because she has some mental health struggles and requires the constant checking in to make sure she's taking her meds, to make sure she's eating, to make sure she's drinking her water, to make sure she's not in a shit spiral and going manic or going depressive. I actually wrote oh my God, it's chapter 8 where she opens up to one of the other MMCs about her mental health struggles and the medication she's on and the episodes she's been through, and how it led her down this path of terrible decisions she was making because she was in a manic episode. And like, she was self-aware enough to recognize she was in an episode, but didn't care in the moment until it was too late. And that's when she met Liam, and they started talking and becoming friendly and growing close. And then eventually, because they meet in a specific type of club where he's a DM and he rescues her and takes care of her, and then they kind of build a relationship from there, and it ends up becoming a DDLG relationship. But she's a professor of modern literature, and one of her current courses is about human sexuality in literature. And it leads her down this like extensive rabbit hole of research, and it sparks an interest with her when it comes to polyamory versus monogamy versus open relationships. And she realizes she feels like there's pieces of her missing, and as much as she loves Liam, she needs more. There are some of her needs not being met no matter how hard he tries, and that's where Kane and Ryder and Erica all come in. And together, I mean, some of them are fucking each other, some of them are only fucking AJ, and it's complicated and messy, and I'm loving every minute of it. I'm 23,000 words in 10 chapters. I'm averaging about 2,600 words per. I'm shooting for 70,000, 75,000 words before I'll feel comfortable calling it done. But I'm hoping to have that out by the end of this year. I say that, but in reality, I want to have it out on my birthday, which is like only a couple months away. So like, I have to write at least 2,000 words a day to get it done and out on time.
Had that September birthday.
Yeah. And then I recently got invited by a horror author friend of mine to join an anthology he's hosting. So I still have to come up with something for that short story as well. So like I have lots of things in the pipeline. Plus like I'm constantly trying to come up with ways to add to my heart book. My Emotep and Anaxun Namun retelling modern day, but I'm still stuck on the same chapter, and I've already gone back and I've killed my darlings multiple times, and I've started over from the beginning and brought it to the future and modern day, and for now it's just sitting collecting dust till the mood hits and I'm able to continue with it. But yeah, at any given time I'm working on like 5 or 6 different books.
I can handle 3, and that's just about it because that's all I can keep straight.
Dude, you should see my Google Drive. There's like 15 folders for all of my whips.
You have no idea. I wrote entire concepts for like short stories for independent characters for someone that I won't name. And they're just sitting in my Google Doc and they've never even been read.
And that's not even mentioning Jay and I we have a couple ideas that we want to do together, but till this one gets her own ass in gear and puts something out under her own single name, I refuse to co-author anything with her.
Are you pointing at me or her?
At her.
Me?
No.
You. Okay. I was going to say, I'm up here.
We have a retelling that I have extensive outline and notes for in a shared folder with her, but I refuse to let her debut be something she co-authors. I want her debut to be something that's all her. So until she does something, it is going to continue sitting like it has for the past 18 months collecting dust.
Well, we used to, we'll discuss that off camera. But so everybody make sure you go follow Tori on all of the socials. I linked your Linktree in the description, so should be able to find all of the places that you can follow her and keep abreast of all of the news and any new works. Go to Amazon and pre-order Icicle and keep your eyes open for any more of her upcoming works, and definitely go check out Hoof It.
Subscribe to her Substack, people.
Please. Please. Even if it's on the free level, I just want more subscribers because I constantly feel like I'm talking to the void on both Substack and Patreon.
Guys, go to the Linktree, do the things. Check her out.
Love her to death.
I love you too.
Well, thank you for coming on, Tori, and thank you for telling us about the book and letting us talk about it and, letting us know about what you've got coming up. And definitely hope to have you back again anytime.
I'd love to come back. This was a blast.
I'm glad you had fun. I'm really glad that you said yes to coming on.
My face is still red, by the way.
My head hurts because I was like...
Right back here. Right back here. And my face is so hot right now. And I know as soon as we log off here, I'm going to go into my author chat and I'm going to catch all of this shit. Because Sky has been I've been getting notifications. They're a chatty bunch. I love them, but they are chatty. Sky has been giving them a running commentary of what topics we're covering, and it's just...
Let the wild rumpus begin.
I can't show my face in my own author chat right now.
Well, folks, we are thankful for you all coming out tonight and giving our girl here some love. And like we said, give Hoof It the love it deserves. It is diabetes in a book. If you want to literally if you want to die of happiness and sugary love between these two, that is the book for you.
Yeah.
As far as with the podcast, do all the YouTube things, all the Instagram things, the TikTok things, the whole 9. Like, subscribe, share, even get your little friends out in the cryptic woods out there to come and check us out too.
That'd be great. Cryptids are welcome. I'm not sure about Mothman though. I'm still scared of bugs.
Look, as long as it's the Mothman that sprinkles sparkly dust everywhere he goes, I might be okay with it. I
just
read
can't
one of
do the
those.
whole,
I
like,
read
we're
one of
talking
those.
Jeff Goldblum, The Fly. But
But
on that
until
note,
next time, motherfuckers, light it up,
light it up.
bitches.